Hi everyone. So my infinite quest for the perfect lighting has led me outdoors today. I'm not sure how much time I have left, though, because this is actually my favorite time of day anywhere in the world. And I guess you would call it twilight, just before it starts to get dark. So we'll see how this turns out. But this park is actually kind of an interesting place for me. I'll turn you around real quick so you can kind of see what's out there. It's kind of like a little bit of a highway. Okay. And this park used to be someplace that I would come to when I used to work in retail. This was about 4 or 5 years ago. And I used to come to this park on my lunch break and take an extra long lunch break because I was super stressed out from being in a mall surrounded by people all the time. And it's really interesting for me to be back here again under completely different circumstances in my life. So I think a lot of people can look at the idea of being your own boss or being successful or finding different ways to make money and just look at it as just that. However, for me, I feel, of course, that it's something a bit deeper than that. And I feel like being able to create your own well-being, to create a living for yourself on your own terms, is a really important part of establishing your personal power. And when you have that, you can use that to create anything in your life, whether it's health or relationships or your dream job or whatever it is that you want. So this is one aspect of personal power that I'm going to be covering in upcoming videos. So today I'm talking about prosperity. And it's really important for you to have prosperity now, because personally I think it's an easily measurable way to see what type of effect you're able to have on your world. For a lot of people, when you ask them what freedom means, for a lot of people that means money. And the ironic thing about that is for other people that means no money, no responsibilities, no bills to pay, nothing. I know Eckhart Tolle was like homeless for 2 years, and apparently he just sat on a bench and smiled the whole time. A lot of people operate in this world on autopilot. So if you're operating on autopilot, which means you're not living with intention, okay? Operating on autopilot means that you're operating by everyone else's rules. And from a very young age, I believe it's between the ages of, you could say, conception up to age 6, our brains are almost in a hypnotic state, which means that we pick up everything around us and use it to create our idea of the world. And if we're not living with intention, that's the idea that stays with us for our whole lives. And for some people, that's perfectly fine. But for the kind of person that's probably watching this video right now, you probably have a bigger dream for yourself and a greater dream for your life. And so what we want to do is we want to find ways to access our subconscious mind to start reprogramming those ideas, to start creating our own beliefs, and then using that to create our world. I'm going to share 3 kind of unconventional tips that I use to help myself do that. The first one is keeping a synchronicity journal. The way I would define a synchronicity is when you're able to think or dream up something inside your head, and you're able to quickly see that in the real world. So what a synchronicity journal does is it helps you keep track of those occurrences, so you become more aware of them. And as you start to keep track of that and become more aware of them, they start to become more and more powerful for you. And it's really funny because at first they start off to be some really random little things. Um, for me, I woke up one morning and I had the idea, I'm like, I'm going to create a Synchronicity Journal. And I thought, let me just think of something that I want to manifest today, that I want to think and put an intention on and see in the real world. So I thought, okay, swan. I just came up with swan. And the thing was that I was going to be in the house for the next couple of days because I work online mostly. So, I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm sure it'll work out. Later that day, I ended up getting a friend request from someone whose last name was Swan. And their cover photo was two swans. And then a couple of days later, I'm sure some of you follow Teal Scott, who I initially got this idea from. This was before she got married. She ended up getting married like a few days later and changing her name to Swan. Her last name was Swan. So it was just really random and hilarious. And that's just a small example. Another example is I was thinking about clay for a really long time. I love therapeutic clays for a number of different uses. And I was thinking about this clay that I really, really wanted, and I got to the store and I was holding the clay. And as I'm holding it, looking at the package, I get a text message about somebody asking me randomly, totally randomly, saying like, I know you're interested in painting, but have you ever thought about working with clay? And there I was holding a bag of clay in the store that I've been thinking about all week. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean something. It's not like, oh, I should be working with clay now or something. It doesn't necessarily have to mean anything. It's just proof of what you have inside your head starting to become visible in the outside world. A lot of people think of the idea of manifesting as creating something out of nothing. Personally, I think that what manifesting is the ability to make visible to yourself what is already there. One of the greater examples of synchronicities that have been working out for me lately was that I had a very strong inclination to contact this naturopath that I've been working with. I hadn't seen this person in about a year, and I kept getting this inclination to contact this person, that they could benefit from the services that I offer as a social media manager. And so I finally just one day did it, and when I set up the meeting and I got there, the person was like, oh my God, this is like the most perfect timing. I needed this. I had no idea who to call. I was just about to start looking into it and you showed up. And so that is a great way that I started to generate that prosperity, listening to that voice and creating that thing. So the second thing you can do is, we're going to try it actually right now. So what I want you to do is just close your eyes. I want you to imagine you have the juiciest yellow lemon in your hand. And you can kind of roll it around a bit, kind of squeeze it. You can feel the juices kind of coming out of the rind on that wonderful lemon. And then you're going to cut that lemon open, and I just want you to just take a big bite of that lemon in your mind's eye. Just bite right into that. Oh man. So, if you're a normal human being, I'm sure that caused you to salivate. Now, your conscious mind knows that there is actually no lemon. However, your lower conscious or your subconscious mind, which is the one that controls the majority of your reality, thinks that actually happened. And your body's responding in kind. So, because we attract and we look for and we focus on things that confirm our thoughts and beliefs on a subconscious level, we need to start changing those things. And one way to do it is creative visualization. So you want to do what we just did for the positive things that you want in your life. So you want to start thinking of your ideal prosperity situation. I think the best way to do it is to think of things that keep you in power, that make you feel empowered. Thinking of something like winning the lottery, that's not really very empowering because it's like, random, someone has to give it to you, that type of thing. Think of something that's very empowering for yourself. imagine the feeling of achieving that. Imagine what it would look like, how it sounds, how it feels in your body, just everything about it. And you're going to start creating those neural pathways that help to reinforce that. And you're going to start reprogramming that subconscious part of your brain. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to keep a synchronicity journal that shows that we are creating our own reality. The second thing we're going to do is creative visualization, where we start to reprogram our subconscious mind to feel good about the things that we want. The third thing that we're going to do, which is something that I completely forgot. Oh, yeah. So the third thing that we're going to do is we're going to start doing little things in the world that show us success and give us a feeling of power. What that might look like is something small you can do that shows you when I put my mind on something, I can achieve it and be successful at it. Now, the idea of this is for it to be challenging enough that you get something out of it, but not so challenging that it's difficult. Okay? So for me, one thing that I did, for example, was I signed up for a fitness class. It's actually a pole fitness class. So I know it sounds a little bit risque. I can't wait to tell you guys all about it because it's been amazing. But I signed up for a class and I attend every week. That's kind of big for me. I'm not big on routine and schedules and appointments, stuff like that. So the fact that I was able to do that, keep up with it, enjoy it, and then I was able to see progress, physical progress. I could see myself getting stronger, a little bit here and there. And just being able to commit to that routine made a huge difference for me. So find something like that. And make sure that it's something that helps contribute to your personal goals. Let's say your ultimate goal is health. Okay, depending on what your level of fitness is, tell yourself, every Sunday, I am going to walk 2 miles, or something like that. Just find something you can commit to that'll work out for you. There are some economic challenges that our generation is facing that maybe some older generations don't understand, or that can make people feel hopeless or scared about the future. But you also have to consider there are some really great opportunities and things that exist now that never did before. For example, I know Danielle Laporte. She's a great thought leader for business and creative people and entrepreneurs. If you want a personal session with her, I think like 1 hour is like $10,000 or something like that. But you know what? There are hours and hours of free talks by Danielle Laporte on YouTube. Robin Sharma, Stuart Wilde, like there's anything that you want, you can find it for free online now. And I've been talking a lot recently about YouTube. You can make money on YouTube. I did not start YouTube to make money, okay? I thought, all right, like what is it? Every person who clicks on an ad, you get 2 cents. Like what's that going to be, like $20 a year? Like I didn't think about money when I started YouTube. However, I've been shocked by the checks that I'm getting from Google every month now. People need to know this. It's a great opportunity to establish yourself online, to help other people, to express yourself, and to generate an income from the internet, which is unlimited. So there are a lot of opportunities for you, and I'm going to be talking more about them in upcoming videos. So please stay tuned, and please stay inspired, because it's so important for you to succeed right now.